जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश
जय गणेश देवा।
माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी।
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 माथे पे सिंदूर सोहे मूस की सवारी।
माथे पे सिंदूर सोहे मूस की सवारी।
जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश
जय गणेश देवा। माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
पान चढ़े फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा।
पान चढ़े फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा।
लदुवन का भोग लगे संत कर सेवा।
लदुवन का भोग लगे
संत कर सेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश
जय गणेश देवा।
माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
Prabhu, by your grace, even the blind can see. Even those people who feel they can't have children, they are able to have children. Anything is possible by your grace. अंधन को आँख देत कोढ़ियन को काया। कोढ़ियन को काया। बांझन को पुत्र देत निर्धन को माया।
बांझन को पुत्र देत निर्धन को माया।
जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश
जय गणेश देवा।
माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
दीनन को लाज रखो शंभु सुतकारी। दीनन को लाज रखो शंभु सुतकारी। कामना को पूर्ण करो जाओ बलिहारी।
कामना
को पूर्ण करो जाओ बलिहारी। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश
जय गणेश देवा।
माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
माता जाकी पार्वती
रिद्धि सिद्धि करिवर वदन श्री गणपति महाराज। प्रथम नमन है आपको पूर्ण की जयकार। कर्पूर गौरम करुणावतारम संसार सारम भुजगेन्द्रहारम सदा वसंतम हृदयारविंदे भवम भवानी सहितं नमामि। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। प्रेम से बोलो श्री गणेश भगवान की। प्लीज टेक योर सीट्स कंफर्टेबली। जय श्री राम। Tonight, today's Wednesday, so today we normally would sing one bhajan for Krishna Bhagwan. And we all can join together in singing Jai Krishna Hare. We know that. We look at him. Hey Prabhu. All is possible by your love, by your grace, by your understanding, by your blessing. We come together to you, before you, to do puja. Jai Krishna Hare, Shri Krishna Hare, dukhiyon ke dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare. Jai Krishna Hare,
Shri Krishna Hare, dukhiyon ke dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare.
O Jai Krishna Hare, Shri Krishna Hare, dukhiyon ke dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare.
Jai Krishna Hare, Shri Krishna Hare, dukhiyon ke dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare.
जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो। जब चार तरफ
अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो।
जब कोई न केवल हारा हो, और कोई न केवल हारा हो, फिर तुम ही बेड़ा पार करो। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे।
दुखियों के दुख दूर करे। जय
जय जय कृष्ण हरे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। जय जय
जय कृष्ण हरे।
प्रेम से बोलो श्री गोविंद कृष्ण भगवान की जय। As we begin tonight's meditation, puja, prayer, recollection, we first of all tune our mind into that divine being, that divinity, the ultimate divinity, all consciousness to God in different forms. We ask that you sit upright, have your spine straight as possible. keep the flow of energy running from the base of your spine to the top of your head. And let us pray, beginning with Om 3 times. Om. गजाननं भूतगणादिसेवितं कपितजम्बू फलचारुभक्षणम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारकम् नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजम् ॐ वक्रतुण्डाय हुं श्रीगणेशाय नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। रक्ष रक्ष गणाध्यक्ष रक्ष त्रैलोक्य रक्षक भक्तावासं स्मरं कर्ता त्राता भव भवार्णवा। द्वैमातुर्कृपा सिन्धो शानमाथुरथाग्रज वररस्त्वं वरं देहि वाञ्छितं वाञ्छितार्थदम्। With your obeisance to his mother, सर्वमंगल मांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबिके गौरी देवी मैया शरण्ये त्र्यंबिके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। ओम ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुंडाय विच्चे। शंभु भगवान शंकर भोलेनाथ to his father we pay obeisance to you. नागेंद्र हाराय त्रिलोचनाय भस्मांगरागाय महेश्वराय नित्याय शुद्धाय दिगंबराय तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय। हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव। टुगेदर हर 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 महादेव हर 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 महादेव। प्रेम से बोलो श्री गोविंद कृष्ण भगवान की जय। सर्वदेव सर्वदेवी की जय। विनायका विनायका गौरी पुत्रं विनायका 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 गौरी पुत्रं
विनायका
विनायका विनायका विनायका
विनायका
गौरी पुत्रं विनायका।
गौरीपुत्रं विनायका।
It's important for us to understand what we're singing. And I know that we are not able to know all of what is being sung in this. But this comes from the Narada Purana. And it is said that it removes all of your difficulties. Sankata Nashan Stotra it is known as. Sankata Nashan means the remover of all difficulties and problems. And that's why later on it says, Tisandhamya Patena Raha. You need to sing this 3 times a day. The logic behind it is if you're singing God's name, what problem can you have? But how it is set out, it recites different names of Ganesh Ji. For example, Prathamam Vakratundam Cha. So the first is Vakratunda, him with the twisted trunk. All of these have meanings. Us with our twisted intellect and egos are straightened upright by Ganesh Ji. Ekadantam Dvitiyakam, and he is the one with the one tooth. Again, such symbolism. It means that that other tooth has been removed. So there's Ekadantam, Ekam Satya Vipra Bahuda Vadanti, there's one truth. But once we don't have too many choices, it's easy for us to discriminate what is right and what is wrong. And there's one right way, Ekadantam. And all of these names are given, and we are reciting them. Your homework, find the names and understand what they mean. Pranamya Shirasa Devam Gauri Putram Vinayakam Bhaktavasam Smare Nityam Ayuh Kamata Siddhaye Prathamam Vakratundam Cha Ekadantam Ditiyakam Tritiyam Krishna Pingaksham Gajavatram Chaturtakam Lambodaram Panchamam Cha Shashtam Vikatameva Cha Saptamam Vighnarajendram Dhumravaranam Tathashtamam Vinayaka, Vinayaka, Gauri Putram. We know those words. Sing them. The removal of difficulties is known as Vinayak. Vinayaka, 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 Vinayaka. Gauri Putram Vinayaka.
Gauri Putram Vinayaka.
Navamam Bhalachandram Cha Dashamam Tu Vinayakam Ekadasham Ganapatim Dvadasham Tu Gajananam Dvadashaitani Namani Trisandhyam Yeh Pathe Naraha Nacha Vighnam Bhayam Tasya Sarvasiddhi Karam Prabhu Vinayaka, Vinayaka. Vinayaka, 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 Gauri Putram, Gauri Putram Vinayakam, Gauri Putram. Om Vidyarthi Lavate Vidyam Dhanarthi Lavate Dhanam Putrarthi Lavate Putran Moksharthi Lavate Gatim Japet Ganapati Stotram Shadbhiramaso Phalam Lavet Samvatarena Siddham Chal Lavate Natraya Sanjayah Ashtabhyo Brahmanebhyascha Liktoya Samarpayet Tasya Vidya Bhavet Sarva Ganeshasya Prasadatah Iti Shri Narad Puran Sankatanashan Ganesh Stotram Sampurnam. Prem se bolo Shri Ganesh Bhagwan ki, Prem se bolo Shri Ganesh Bhagwan ki, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh. Tonight, we want to speak from the pages of the Ganesh Ji Puran. It's a beautiful katha of about a special person and what happened to him. There was a king whose name was Somakant. Som, in Vedic times, was a wonderful elixir that was drunk by the devatas. So when someone was named Somakant, it meant that this was somebody who was beautiful, fit for the devatas. So Somakant understood the meaning of the Vedas. He knew everything that there was about the Dharma Shastras. He knew how to treat his subjects well. And he had a huge and mighty army. He had 5 ministers, all of whom were exceptionally brilliant and who guided him on a daily basis. And he had a wife whose name was Sudharma. What was her name? Sudharma. Sometimes we say Dharma. Well, that is Dharmendra. Dharma is what gives the righteousness to the sound. The name of his wife was Sudharma, and both of them together were so wonderful as king and queen that they were unsurpassed in their beauty and in their intelligence. But Somakant had a problem, and we will learn more about that problem as we go along tonight. As he grew older, his karma was such that he began to suffer skin ailments. The description is so graphic that I don't think I want to tell it to you. But his body was no longer the beautiful body that it was before. It became pungent in smell. He had sores all over him. And he became embarrassed now to come out and to be in public and to see people. This was, what was his name? Who's sleeping away? Somakant. He was as though, however, like he was a boat in the ocean. He was lost, being tossed aside. He wanted to look after his subjects, but look at what was happening to him. And he became now a source of embarrassment for himself and now for his family as well. And he began to say, listen, you know what? I can't remain in this kingdom. I can't remain here at all. So I need to move out. I need to go somewhere else. I need to go into the forest. He was so well loved, however, that all of his ministers wanted to go with him. But who was he going to leave now in the kingdom? Because he had resolved, he had to go. He wanted to go. He felt he needed to go. Everybody's going with him. Sudharma, his wife, the 5 ministers, everybody wants to go with him. And he decided, listen, let me go. Whoever it is that has to remain here has to be guided by the ministers. I will just go with my Dulhan, Sudharma. And so he decided to leave, as I indicated. And I want to take us up there now from the 3rd chapter of the Ganesh Ji Puran. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah Ashtavinayak Namo Namah Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah Ashtavinayak Namo Namah Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah अष्टविनायक नमो नमः
गणपति बाप्पा मोरया
सूत उवाच तत अस्थाय राजा स गृहीत्वा दक्षिणे करे पुत्रं विवेशे हर्भागे यत्र मंत्रयते सदा ॐ गं गणपतये
नमो नमः
श्रीसिद्धि
विनायक नमो नमः
अष्टविनायक
नमो नमः
गणपति
बाप्पा मोरया
यत्र सिंहासनं दिव्यं काञ्चनं बहुरत्नयुग भक्तान प्रबलार्चितं भाति शक्रपदं तथा ॐ गं गणपतये
नमो नमः
श्रीसिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः
अष्टविनायक नमो नमः
गणपति बाप्पा मोरया गणपति बाप्पा मोरया गणपति बाप्पा
मोरया
प्रेम से पुरुष गणेश भगवान की
जय
Somakant and what is his wife's name? Sudharma had a son. Their son's name was Hemakant. So Somakant said, I will leave my son in charge of the kingdom. What I like about how this katha starts is the love that this father has for his son, because he doesn't just leave him like that. He doesn't just say, listen, son, it's you to catch and I will go. He begins in a wonderful conversation that he has with his son as he teaches him how one is to lead, which is why, as I said earlier, yesterday, last week, that tonight is about acquiring leadership qualities. And this is the lesson coming from Somakant. Tata usthaya rajasa grihitva dakshine kare. It starts so beautifully. He holds his hand, he holds his son's hand. And he puts him to sit down and he said, son, let me talk to you. There was a huge, lovely singhasan. Putram vivesha harbhagyam yatra antrasyate sada yatra singhasanam divyam kanchanam bahurayuta. So he put him on the singhasan immediately and told him this. They sat there, two of them, lions in their own right. And this is what he says first of all to his son. Somakant said, Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Nama Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Nama Ashtavinayak Namo Nama Ganapati Bappa Yamatra Vashite Yasham Nishayam Jagrite Puman Tyaktva Shashyam Shachu Shuchi Sthan Upavashya Guru Smare Om Gam Ganapataye Siddhi Vinayak Namo Nama Ashtavinayak Ganapati Bappa Devatam Chindya Veshthatam Pranameta Stuti Purvakam Pratha Prithvi Kshamasveti Padasparjam Jagatmaye Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah
अष्टविनायक नमो नमः
Ganapati Bappa Ganapati Bappa Moria Ganapati Bappa. For many children, knowing that they are now going to be left in charge, they may say their first words might be, okay, dads, where's the credit card? Where are the keys for the car? And most importantly, What's the combination for the safe while you're gone? You never know. I may have a craving for pizza. Somkant's first words to his son, very telling, is that you should get up every morning 3 hours before sunrise. Brahma Muhurt hour. We spoke about this, mentioned it earlier on this week. So he doesn't start off by saying, well, you are king now, you could sleep till lunchtime if you want. He said, you are king now, you have a responsibility. You get up 3 hours before sunrise. And what do? You first of all remember your Guru. Om Gurura Brahma, Gurura Vishnu. Put your hands together. Say prayers to Guruji. Om Gurura Brahma, Gurura Vishnu, Gurura Devo Maheshwara, Gurura Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri. Very good. Prem Sabushi Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. And what do you do next? Wonderful, wonderful teaching. You bow by Dharti Mata and tell her, please forgive me if in any way I hurt you. Panditji, I know I have heard him speak about it on a Sunday. What are the prayers that we say before we get off the bed? What do we do? Our first action after Guru Maharaj Ki Jai is to touch Dharti Mata and pray that you, Mataji, you face all of the challenges that we as human beings put on you. Yet you still continue to provide for us. Please forgive me. Samudra Vasane Devi Parvatastana Mandite. You hold all of these mountains and the oceans and the rivers, and we little human beings cause so much problems to you. That's a katha for a different day about conservation and eco-conscious Sanatan Dharma. And after doing that, what does he say to do? You do puja to the Panchadev. Who is the Panchadev? Well, hint. Panch comes from Panch, which means 5. Dev means not Devindra, but Dev means Devta. So the 5 Devtas. Who are the 5 Devtas? Let's see. Did you study for tonight's yajna? Who are the 5? Start with Ganesh Ji. Okay. Let's think of the family. He comes with a family. Who is his mummy? Gauri Mata. So Devi Maya. Who is his father? Shivji Bhagwan. So that's 3 out of the 5. Who are the other 2? Well, no, we're leaving the family out now. So 3 from that family. Let's see if we can work it out. Vishnu Bhagwan and Surya Bhagwan. Those are the 5. Ganesh Ji, Durga Mata, Vishnu Bhagwan, Shivji Bhagwan, Surya Bhagwan. Remember the 5? It is said that every home ought to do pratana to these Panchadev every day. And I have to tell you why that is. When we sit to do puja, when we sit to pray, when we sit to ask God for blessings, we ask for God for blessings in all different aspects of our life. We want difficulties removed, so Ganesh Ji. We want to be prosperous and happy, And the maintainer of this universe is Vishnu Bhagwan. He is the one that will give us that. We want to have energy to be able to do all of these things, Durga Mata. We want to have good health and knowledge. Hanumanji's Guruji is Surya Bhagwan. So Surya Bhagwan is involved. And Shankar Bhagwan. What more do I need to say about Shankar Bhagwan? He is the giver of all bliss, happiness and peace. Satyam Shivam Sundaram he is known as. He was there in our past, he is there in our present, and he will ensure that we have a bright and prosperous future. And every aspect of God that we could think of, every vision of the sattvic forms of Bhagwan are represented and emanate from these five. And every aspect of our life is influenced by these five. But Baba, what if I pray to Sri Ram instead? That is Vishnu Bhagwan. So you can have your murti of Sri Ram. What if I like Krishna Ji? That is Vishnu Bhagwan. So he's all one. What if I like Kali Mata? That is Durga Maya. You call all of the names, you will see that they trace back to one out of these five. And if you sit down and you think about it, to do that puja for the Panchadev, God's calling again. Time to do puja, he says. Time to do puja. Let's pray. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Nama Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Nama Ashta Vinayak Namo Nama Ganapati Bappa Ganapati Bappa Ganapati Bappa Prem Surj Ganesh Bhagwan Ki Jai. That's a good message, you know. You could put reminders on your phone. Every 10 minutes it could come up. And it could sing and help you to remember. Anyway. So all of them, you can simply do puja to them. You know we are on 5. You know the Panch Upachar Puja. This is what you would do. Baba, how do we do puja? How do we do puja in our puja room? What do we do first? What do we do second? How do we do the puja? Well, the Panch Upachar Puja is very easy. The different variations of it, I will tell you how I do mine. I will offer a little water unto them to simply signify that I am bathing them, giving them some water to drink, washing their feet. So I will offer them some water. Then I may put some clothes on them. Just give them a little piece of cotton representing clothing. And with that a mala, a flower, I'm sorry. Then Dhoop, Deep, Naivedya. You end off with those 3. Dhoop is the agarbatti. I have stopped using agarbatti, but that's my own personal reasons. Deep will be the arti, and Naived a little prasad for them. 5, very easy, very quick. But let me tell you the science behind that. For you to sit down to do puja in that way, you have to have flowers to do your puja. So that means you have to plant your flowers outside or go by the neighbor to ask for flowers. If you're not getting along with your neighbor, then what? You can't get flowers to do puja. So you plant your flowers, so that means you are setting up your garden. Why? To do your puja. Make sure you have all the different colors. What are the colors for Ganesh Ji? Yellow. There are other colors, but we would traditionally offer for yellow. What are the colors for Durga Mata? Red. Shivji Bhagwan. So you could have white. Vishnu Bhagwan. Yellow. Surya Bhagwan. Offer red. So you have to have all these different colors, these different plants, these flowering plants in your house, in your home. To look after that, you have to look after, to make sure you get it, you make sure you have to water it. We have to then become so conscious of our environment because we don't want things to happen to my plant. So even though we sit for that 5, 10, 15 minutes in the morning to do our puja, Panchdev Puja, our puja actually begins long before, when we plant the plant and we water the plant, and then we go outside and we pick the flower. We want the best flower that there is. We plant the tulsi, Mataji. If we have room, we plant the bale tree, the neem tree. All of these things in preparation for what? For puja. So we begin focusing our life in preparation for God's coming. So you see how puja, preparing for puja, starts from even before you actually sit down in the room. You wash everything nicely. When you're washing, you're not quarreling with the leaf. You're hopefully singing, Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Nama. You ever see anybody quarreling with a leaf? I have seen people quarrel with a leaf. I went to a puja one time. Person had the do grass. Got fed up, throw it here or let it. You wouldn't do that. So you are now, your mind is such that your puja and prayer is going on even when you're washing the leaf and the flowers. Do you see that? Because you're calm, you're peaceful, you're listening to your bhajans, and you're trying not to get yourself upset. Puja begins before you reach in the puja room. And here Somakant is telling his son, the first thing you do is do the Panchadev Puja. Remember what I said? He didn't say, here are the keys for the chariot, because they didn't have cars then. Here's the hay for the horse. No. First thing to do, get up early, not after sunrise. Do your puja. Why? Because your day begins in that positive manner. If you do your puja in that way, the rest of your day flows very, very easily. Prayerfully, all of your day goes. So pray to Ganesh Ji, pray to Vishnu Bhagwan, pray to Shiv Ji, and pray to Parvati Mata, all of the Panchadevatas. And after doing that, go and look after yourself. Look after your body. And it's an important lesson. Look after your body, your bodily needs. What does that mean? It means the obvious things when you just get up in the morning. But it also means go and do a little bit of yoga. Do a little exercise. Raise your own being and your own self. He is telling his son how to be a good leader by first of all looking after your own self. He didn't say go out there and start to lead everybody. That wasn't his first word. His first word is look after yourself first. We've used this example before, that if you go to the pipe and it has no water, it cannot feed anybody any water. So the pipe has to have water in it for you to get water to drink, and anybody else could get water to drink. In the same manner, we cannot help anyone unless we first of all don't help ourselves. And this is what Somakant is telling his son. And I want you to hold on to this line that I'm going to give to you, because I will repeat it again. You cannot be a good leader unless you're not a good follower. And I will explain what I mean shortly. Because who are you following? What are you following? What it is that makes you who you are? You cannot be a good leader unless you're a good follower. I'll come back to that shortly. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah, Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah,
अष्टविनायक नमो नमः
Ganapati Bappa Moria.
गणपति नमो नमः श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः
अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बप्पा मोरिया, गणपति बप्पा मोरिया, गणपति बप्पा। प्रेम से बोल गणेश भगवान की जय। Being aware of the time, I want to make sure that we get through this because this is important. So I won't read too much of the Sanskrit. I want to tell you what he says to his son. He says to him, as simple as it is, brush your teeth. Think about it. What he is saying to you, ready yourself, look after yourself, do the things that you need to do to ensure that you can reach out after you've done you've gone into your puja room. When you go into your puja room, make sure you are clean in every manner. He describes to him how to have a bath, how to clean himself up. And those of us who have taken clay masks and put it on to beautify know that in our Dharma Shastras it tells us the type of clay to use, how to use it, and how to cleanse your body with it. Thousands of years ago, we've been using the clay. So, having done those things, make an offering to your Pitris, he says to him. So it comes back to what our daily duties are. That I will speak about another time. But make an offering to your Pitris and remember them. So you know sometimes we get scared. Pitri Pujan only to be done and in Pitarpak time. I said it like that because you know it jars you when you hear that. So the word is not Pitarpak. What is the word? Pitrapak. How much nicer that sounds. Pitrapak. Say Pitra. Pak. That starts from Panditji, Saturday? From Saturday. But we don't have to wait for them. He is saying to his son, offer every day. Make your offerings to them. Remind them that you are thinking of them and that you recognize the heritage and the tradition from which you have come. Having taken your bath, removed your dust, done your prayers, do your puja. These are the things I want you to do, son. I want you to speak with sweet words, truthfully but sweetly. It doesn't mean you're looking fat. No. Sweet words is such that they carry with them the quality to ensure that the person who is listening to them will receive them in a good way. Learn to speak like that. Know how to feed all of the guests that you have. Feed them properly. Do not practice treachery. Do not cheat anyone. I've said on Sunday when I spoke about and in preparation for today, I've told you that being a leader is not just being a king. Being a leader, and I'm so happy today to see the members of the Sri Sevak Sabha here. You are leaders and exemplars in yourselves. And you are teaching by example today. And leadership applies to each and every one of us at some point in their life, some for longer than others. And in whatever form of leadership you do, So Makant is telling his son, which applies to all of us, don't cheat anybody. Don't be treacherous. Don't practice things that are wrong. Don't go to look for other people's spouses. Those are the words that I hear. And if you have a spouse, be with him and her at the right time. I won't explain that. But you know what I'm speaking about. Know how to be with them. You know, so many of us had heard about, and thought, oh, so cute, Barack Obama and Michelle Obama going on date night when he was president, taking time for each other. So Makant is telling his son, hey Makant, take the time for your spouse. These are things that a leader does. Why? Because if you take the time for your spouse, you are setting an example for those, for others to follow you and to see that you have genuine love here. People will be more willing to listen to you than if you were a person who didn't take time for your family. Give food and clothes to the weak, to the blind, and to the poor, and don't forsake the truth, he says. And those who are virtuous, let them come and seek your favor. Those who are virtuous. And you know, that's a powerful line. Because so many people like to surround themselves with people who are yes people. Should I do this? Yeah, man. Should we go by the corner? Yeah. Should we go and do it? Yeah. He says, surround yourself with virtuous people. Virtuous people will be able to guide you to say, no, don't go there. Don't put yourself in that position. Don't go into that company. Surround yourself with virtuous people. We spoke about this many times. Earlier this year, we spoke about from the Ramayana, Vinu Satasanga Viveka Nahoi, without putting yourself in good company, Satasang, company that is truthful. How can you ever be successful? So he's telling him, surround yourself with virtuous people. People who have studied the Shastras. People like yourselves who come to Puja to pray. You know what happens? People on the outside who want to be good will want to look for your company. Because you know the road to come to Todd Street and to Mandir. Many people know the way to come to Todd Street and to the Mandir. They just can't reach. Cannot Baba. One who wishes to survive should not have excessive confidence in other people other than your guru. Nor should one ever have confidence in people who are violent. Confidence in people who are violent. He goes through, he tells his son what it is like to be a leader. You have to understand, he says, what your subjects need, what will make them happy. And I saw this, you know, God, I spoke yesterday, God sends messages to you. And it's how you interpret them, and I got this message today. And I just have to share it with you because somehow the universe knew that I was going to talk about leadership a little bit today. And this is what the message that I got. It's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. It's a quote, and I will just read it. It's in Sanskrit. Praja sukhe sukham ragya prajanam tu hite hitam natma priyam hitam ragya prajanam tu priyam hitam. In the happiness of the subjects lies the benefit of the king. And in what is beneficial to the subjects is in his own benefit. Let's break it down. If you are a leader, you are the leader of a team. If your team is happy, then you too will be happy. And if your team is unhappy, they will never get the work done. So the secret to the success is to ensure that your team is happy. And as simple as it may seem, because we think sometimes, well, I'm the boss, I have to put my foot down. Put it down where? On somebody else? No, that is not what Somakant is saying. Somakant is not saying step on anybody to get forward. And this comes as well, this is a teaching from chapter 6 of the Bhagavad Gita. Uddharena na atmanam vyasarate. Remember that? We've spoken about it before. Lift yourself by your own self. And it goes on in the next line to say, don't step on other people to get ahead. Don't step on other people to get ahead. That is why you're lifting yourself by your own efforts. Don't degrade yourself, chapter 6 says. Lift yourself. That's why I talked about it a little bit before. Don't pay to degrade yourself. Pray to elevate yourself instead. Through the application of the Dharma Shastras, make your kingdom prosper. Give gifts according to your capacity. When others are confused, the king should condemn the worst part and apply punishment according to what is deserved by the person. There are many thoughts that arise out of that line, much of which I can't go into. But how do we punish people? With the big stick? Think about it. There are so many studies about that, talking about children. You know, there's a debate still going on. The reason why society is as it is because they have banished corporal punishment. When I was small, not me personally, but it is said, people say, when I was small, I couldn't say that or do that, you know, because my mother picked up something and pelted behind me. Or my father well, that has been banished, so nobody to pelt and pick up and hit and whatever it might be. And so people are saying in the debate that that is why society is falling apart. That's not why society is falling apart. But we're not here to speak about that aspect of it. Maybe on another day we'll talk about that, because that's an interesting thing as well. Why is society falling apart now? When we look at the leadership things here, the answer lies in these things. Because that's why the king is the king and the subjects are the subjects. And the subjects look to the king, to the leaders, to the people who are in front who ought to know better. And I'm not criticizing anyone in society right now. I'm just saying as a general statement, coming out of what Somakant is saying, is that if you do not look after your people, your community, your entire society is going to crumble. You will have unhappy subjects and they will not do well. And in the same way, if you are a leader of a team, if you are in the Sri Sevak Sabha and all the ladies vex with each other, then how can you ever achieve? Thank God that doesn't happen. So that they can get together, do puja together as they're doing. They probably listen to this puja, this katha already. Because the Sri Sevak Sabha has been a stalwart in this mandir, and so many things that are being achieved and have been achieved. So being leaders in whatever form, whether in a Sri Sevak Sabha, whether in a group, whether in school, wherever it might be in a group, whether at the job, it calls for all of these things. What does it boil down to? Compassion, understanding, putting yourself in the shoes of the other person. Remember the song from Sunday? I wouldn't sing it now. Maybe you should go back and listen to it. The Hank Williams song from 1953. Remember that? the Elvis Presley song from 1970. I quoted both of them. Very interesting it was. He goes on to tell him, an excellent leader should not cause the loss of livelihoods or the deprivation of his subjects, the deprivation of the devatas, or the deprivation of gardens and shrines. When there is a change of the moon, so in other words, full moon, he should give gifts and donations to those who are needy. He should not issue commands to friends. Those of us who have friends, think about it. Do we command our friends? Don't answer it. Think about it. He is saying, you want to have good friends, you want to have leadership qualities, don't boss around your friends. They are your friends. Never abandon the truth. This is the second time he is repeating it. Never abandon the truth. And this is crucial to any leadership, to any king, to anybody who is in a position to influence other people. Don't abandon the truth. Because if you abandon the truth, you will forget what you are following, and you cannot be a leader unless you are a good follower. And what are you following if you are just telling the truth? You forget where you start when people start telling untruths. The lies begin tying up one into the other, and we forget what is truth and what is lie. Somakant is telling his son, beta, don't abandon the truth. If you have to captivate the hearts of your ministers and subjects, make sure that you do so lovingly. Don't order them, you have to love me. You can't force anybody to love anybody. Love comes genuinely, freely, when you sometimes least expect it. But you cannot force it. And you cannot, therefore, he is telling his son, you cannot ever expect your subjects or people that you are leading to ever love you and follow you if you yourself are not a good person to sit and do puja, get up in the morning and do puja, look after yourself, be healthy. After these things, he taught Hemakant political conduct as per the Vedas. And the king invited all of the great kings and queens and friends and chiefs to witness the consecration of his son. And that is an important line in what Somakant does before he goes, because he endorses his son, but only after he has taught his son how he should be and what he should be. And he brings everyone forward and says, that is my son. I have taught him. I have taught him as we are taught in the Shastras. I am proud of my son. I am putting him here now. You too will honor him in that manner. The completion of his son's consecration was completed by the singing of all of the prayers, and all of the puja was done. And the king said, my son, these here are the ministers to guide you. Ministers, be prudent. My son is assigned to your hands alone. Please guide him along. And with that comes the thought that it is important for us to place our children in the hands of those people whom we can trust to look after their best interest. Remember the types of people he spoke about? Virtuous people. Types of people? People who are truthful. Who else? People who can help elevate And this is the last message he leaves with us as we close now chapter 3 of the Ganesh Ji Puran. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah, Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah, Ashta Vinayak Namo Namah, Ganapati Bappa Moria. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah, Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah, Ashta Vinayak Namo Namah, Ganapati Bappa Moria. Ganapati Bappa Moria, Ganapati Bappa Moria. Prem Shri Ganesh Bhagwan ki. How does it tie into Ganesh Ji? You will hear the rest of the story tomorrow, and you will understand how it ties back into Ganesh Ji. But to leave you with these thoughts today, that it is important for us to be good people. It is important for us to have principles that we follow, so that when the time comes for us to lead, we have a foundation that we can follow along to say, this is what my foundation is, these are my core beliefs, I will follow those core beliefs. And when I follow those core beliefs, I can then be a good leader to you. So you cannot be a good leader unless you are a good follower. And what do you follow? These are the types of messages that you follow. Get up and do your puja. Get up and pray. Look after yourself. Be healthy. I keep saying these things. I look and I see you now, I feel like this is deja vu, like I've seen this scene so many times in my mind before. But it is important for us to understand that we need a foundation for us to follow, so that we can then take people along that path. And the good thing about all of us who are here is that you have found your way here to find a foundation for you to then lead others if you have to. If I ask you, what do you believe? You would say to me, I believe in Satyanarayan Swami, truth in the form of God, God in the form of truth. That is what I must be. If I ask you, what do you believe? I believe in a divine, compassionate mother who will come and defend me no matter what. If I ask you, what do you believe? I believe in Shivji Bhagwan, cool and calm, peaceful. All of these qualities are daily reminders that you would have when you do your Pancha Day of Puja. When you see them in front of you, you are more than just looking at murtis. You are looking at ideals. You are looking at principles. You are looking at knowledge. You are looking at foundation. You are looking at your life as you would like it to be manifested in front of you, and you are pujaing that to help you to become better people. It's a message for all of us. Tonight's message of leadership is such that we must know that we have to be strong. We have to be strong spiritually. Muscles as well, sure, why not? But importantly, you have to be mentally strong, because this world is not easy. We see the challenges that everyone faces on a daily basis. And as we now join in bhajan, Neil, I ask you to reflect upon what is important to you. What are the principles that you would like to follow? And how in turn you would lead other people along that same path. Prem se Shri Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai.
Ganapati Bappa Moria, Ganapati Bappa Moria, Ganapati Bappa Sukh karta dukh harta mera Ganapati गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया।
सुख करता दुख हरता मेरा गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया।
आओ प्रभु मेरे आओ, मंगल मूर्ति आओ।
आओ प्रभु मेरे आओ, मंगल मूर्ति आओ।
जय जयकार हुई जग अंदर, जय जयकार हुई जग अंदर। घर घर में है तेरा मंदिर, घर घर में है तेरा मंदिर। प्रेम की ज्योत जलाने वाली मेरे मन की ज्योत जलाओ। प्रेम की ज्योत जलाने वाली मेरे मन की ज्योत जलाओ। आओ प्रभु मेरे आओ, मंगल मूर्ति आओ। आओ प्रभु मेरे आओ, मंगल मूर्ति आओ। गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया, गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया, गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया, गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया। सारे जग की तुम हो स्वामी, सारे जग की तुम हो स्वामी। गणपति बाप्पा अंतर्यामी, गणपति बाप्पा
अंतर्यामी।
सबकी बिगड़ी बनाने वाले मेरी बिगड़ी बनाओ। सबकी बिगड़ी बनाने वाली मेरी बिगड़ी बनाओ। आओ प्रभु मेरे आओ, मंगल मूर्ति आओ। आओ प्रभु मेरे आओ, मंगल मूर्ति आओ। गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया, गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया, गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया, गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया। बल बुद्धि सब तेरी दया से, बल बुद्धि सब तेरी दया से। रिद्धि सिद्धि नवनिधि तेरी दया से, रिद्धि सिद्धि नवनिधि तेरी दया से। सबको पार लगाने वाले मेरे नैया पार लगाओ। सबको पार लगाने वाले मेरे नैया पार लगाओ। आओ प्रभु मेरे आओ, मंगल मूर्ति आओ। आओ प्रभु मेरे आओ, मंगल मूर्ति आओ। गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया, गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया, गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया, गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया। सुख करता दुख हरता मेरा गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया। सुख
करता दुख हरता मेरा गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया।
आओ प्रभु मेरे आओ, मंगल मूर्ति आओ। आओ प्रभु मेरे आओ, मंगल मूर्ति आओ। आओ प्रभु मेरे आओ, मंगल मूर्ति आओ।
प्रेम से बोलो श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। प्रेम से बोलो श्री गणेश भगवान की
जय।
जय। गणपति स्वामी। We will sing the traditional Ganesh Ji Aarti. Please all stand together as we offer that divine light to the source of all light. Om साजं च वर्ति संयुक्तं वह्निनायोजितं मया दीपं गृहाण देवेश त्रैलोक्यतिमिरापः। जय गणेश देवा, जय गणेश देवा। माता जाकी पार्वती,
पिता महादेवा,
माता जाकी पार्वती।
पिता महादेवा।
जय गणेश देवा, जय गणेश देवा। माता जाकी पार्वती,
पिता महादेवा,
माता जाकी पार्वती।
पिता महादेवा।
एक दंत दयावंत,
चार भुजाधारी, एक दंत दयावंत, चार भुजाधारी। माथे सिंदूर सो मूसिकी सवारी, माथे सिंदूर
सोहे मूस की सवारी।
अनधन को आँख देख बौद्धिन को काया, अनधन को आँख देख बौद्धिन को काया।
बांझन को पुत्र दे, निर्धन को
माया, बांझन को पुत्र दे, निर्धन को माया। जय गणेश देवा,
जय गणेश देवा। माता जाकी पार्वती,
पिता महादेवा,
माता जाकी पार्वती।
पिता महादेवा। पान चढ़े
फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा, पान चढ़े फूल चढ़े।
और चढ़ी मेवा, रघुवन को भोग लगी संत करे सेवा, रघुवन को
भोग लगे संत करे सेवा।
रिद्धि सिद्धि सात सोई कार्तिकेय भ्राता,
रिद्धि सिद्धि
सात सोई कार्तिकेय भ्राता। दीन जानी शरण राखी सुफल की जय सेवा, दीन जानी शरण राखी सुफल की जय सेवा।
जय गणेश देवा, जय गणेश देवा। माता जाकी पार्वती,
पिता महादेवा,
माता जाकी पार्वती।
पिता महादेवा। एक दंत दयावंत, चार भुजाधारी, एक दंत दयावंत, चार भुजाधारी। माथे सिंदूर सो
मूस की सवारी, माथे सिंदूर सोई मूस की सवारी।
अनधन को आँख देख बौद्धिन को काया,
आँख देख बौद्धिन को काया। बांझन को पुत्र देख,
निर्धन को माया,
बांझन को पुत्र देख, निर्धन को
माया। जय गणेश
देवा, जय गणेश देवा। माता जाकी पार्वती,
पिता महादेवा,
माता जाकी पार्वती। पिता
महादेवा। पान चढ़ी फूल चढ़ी और चढ़ी मेवा, पान चढ़ी फूल चढ़ी और चढ़ी मेवा। रघुवन को भोग लगी संत करे सेवा, रघुवन को
भोग लगे संत करे सेवा।
रिद्धि सिद्धि सात सोई कार्तिकेय भ्राता,
रिद्धि सिद्धि
सात सोई
कार्तिकेय भ्राता।
दीन जानी शरण राखी सुफल की जय सेवा,
माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा
जय गणेश
जय गणेश देवा जय
जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा
माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा
माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा
ॐ यज्ञेन यज्ञमजन्तदेव स्थानी धर्माणि प्रथमन्यासन् देहनाकं महिमानः सचन्त यत्र पूर्वे सध्याया सन्ति देवः ॐ राजाधिराजा प्रसहाय साहिने नमो वयं वैश्रवणाय कुर्महे समेकमं कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वैश्रवणो दधातु कुबेराय वैश्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः ॐ स्वस्ति सम्राजं भौज्यं स्वराज्यं परमेष्ठं राजां महाराजं महामधिपतये मयं समन्तपर्यायस्यात् सर्वा भौमा सर्व आयुष अन्तरप्रराधतः पृथिव्यै समुद्रपर्यन्ताय एकरल्लिति तरप्येष श्लोको अभिगीतो मरुतः परिवेष्टरो मरुतः स्यासंविहे अभीक्षितस्य कामप्रेरविश्वे देवः सभासद इति ॐ एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ती प्रचोदयात् ॐ एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ती प्रचोदयात् ॐ एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ती प्रचोदयात् प्रभु गणपति गणराज, we sing, we pray, we come before you in your beautiful form. We ask you to be with us throughout the day and night, to protect us. Raksha, Raksha Ganadhyaksha, please be with me. Help my mind to be fashioned on a principle that emanates from you, all truth, from Om. May my heart be filled at all times with love for you and love for all divinity. You are my mother, you're my father, you're my family, you're my friend, you're my knowledge, you're my wealth, you're everything to me, Prabhu. I pray, I love, I prostrate before you. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva tvameva bandhu cha sakha tvameva tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva tvameva sarvam mama deva deva tvameva sarvam mama deva. Ashirvad. शिव हरे शिव राम सके प्रभु त्रिविधताप निवारण हे विभु अज जनेश्वर यादव पाहि मां शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरं कमललोचन राम दयानिधे हर गुरो गजरक्षक गोपते शिवतनो भव शंकर पाहि मां शिव हरे विजयं शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरम् ॐ मङ्गलं भगवान् विष्णु मङ्गलं गरुडध्वज मङ्गलं पुण्डरीकाक्ष मङ्गलाय तनोहरि ऋग्वेद आयुर्वेद सामवेद यथर्वणः इति मङ्गलाष्टक सम्पूर्ण गंगा जमुना सरस्वती संगमे फलप्राप्तिकामः जय यजमान आशीर्वाद भगवान कल्याण करो ओम शांति 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 ओम प्रेम से बोल श्री गणेश भगवान की दुर्गा माता की उमापति महादेव की श्री वृंदावन विहारी लाल की पवन पुत्र हनुमान की सर्वदेव सर्वदेवी की सत्य सनातन धर्म की सद्गुरु की धन्यवाद जय जय सीताराम सीताराम सब कोई प्लीज टेक योर सीट्स कंफर्टेबली आई जस्ट हैव अ couple minutes that I want to just say a few words to you before you leave. Thank you once again for coming. Thank you once again for singing. Thank you once again for praying and taking this opportunity to join in puja and in prarthana to Ganesh Ji. It came to me today how simple it is to come before Ganesh Ji. How simple it is to pray to Ganesh Ji. And we have that opportunity. While we can walk, while we can talk, while we can sing, while we can move, try to come. Try to pray. If you're not able to come for any reason, then we do have online presence. But it's so much different when you are here, joining in the voices, singing it with one voice, feeling the vibration of Ganesh Ji when you come up to him. To all who have taken part, Prashant Ji, Neil, Varun, Tablawala today, thank you so much. Pandit Ji for doing puja, and for the Yajman who have sat today, the Shrotagan. May God bless you, bless your family, because whatever blessings you get, remember what we said in the Katha, when the subjects themselves are happy, then the king is happy. When you get your blessing, your family will get the blessing too. So may God bless you and protect you throughout the day and night. May you be happy, healthy, and always dedicated to Bhagwan. Prem se Shri Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai. 8:29. How you like that for timing? Hari Om.
Tonight, brothers and sisters, we express our gratitude once more to Avyas Ji. Join with me in that Jaikar. Prem se bole Shri Guru Maharaj ki
Jai.
Vyas Maharaj ki I now invite those of you who would like to offer your arti and so on to Ganesh Bhagwan, you can do so. For those of you who brought prasad to Charhawi, just give me a couple moments and then we will facilitate those offerings. Be reminded as well that Bhojan has been prepared for everyone in a takeaway fashion. So when you exit the mandir, please partake before you leave. We also want to remind everyone that we continue tomorrow evening, our final night of the Yagya. Again, we start with Pravachan from 7. Puja will be conducted before to end at 8:30. Our final Puja will be performed on Friday morning, right here at the Mandir, and then we will have the Visarjan ceremony right here at the Mandir as well. So we invite you to come for those of you who are able to, from 10 a.m. on Friday morning. We shall conclude by about 12 noon. We look forward to seeing you all with us tomorrow evening, and I want to wish all of you a very safe journey to your respective destinations as you leave here tonight, and a wonderful, powerful day tomorrow, and look forward to seeing you all with us tomorrow evening again. Sabkoi Sitaram Ol.